Hello friends, good evening. Can you hear me now? Please comment. Okay. Thank you. So today we are going to discuss net previous questions that are asked from complex analysis. Right? So let us start with the first question. Let u of xy is equal to e raised to ax cos by be the real part of the function f of z is equal to u of xy plus iv of xy of the complex variable z is equal to x plus iy, where a and b are real constants and a not equal to 0. The function f of z is complex analytic everywhere in the complex plane if and only if. So here the real part of the complex function is given. Now we have to make a relation connecting this a and b so that the function should be analytic. When can we say a function is analytic? It has to satisfy the Cauchy-Riemann conditions. So dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by. This is the first Cauchy-Riemann condition. So from it I can find out this dou u by dou x with respect to x. Cos by is a constant and e raised to ax on doing a e raised to ax. That is equal to dou v by dou y. So cos by a e raised to ax dou y equal to dou v. Now integrating on either side with respect to y. So what will be the answer? Minus sin by a. b. A e raised to x is a constant with respect to y equal to. So we have some constant of this with respect to y I am doing. We have some constant of x that is equal to v, right? So that is v. Now let us come to the second Cauchy-Riemann condition that is equal to dou u by dou y is equal to minus dou v by dou x. What is dou u by dou y permitted? That is with respect to y I am differentiating, that is minus sin by into b e raised to x is a constant, that is equal to minus dou v by dou x, that is minus dou v by dou x that I can find out from it, right? So what is dou v by dou x? So with respect to x I am doing, I can take this e raised to we can do the integration of this e raised to x. Also we need to find the differential of dou v by dou x, so we can differentiate directly this. So that is equal to minus sin by, right, divided by b, that is a constant that we can take. A is also a constant. We have to do this dou v by dou x, that means e raised to ax, that is a e raised to ax, right? Now we can simplify this, right? So this sin by cancel, negative cancel, e raised to x cancel. So we, what is remaining? B is equal to a square by b. So b square is equal to a square. So b is equal to plus or minus a. All right. So which one is the option? Option B is correct, right? Option B is correct. Now let us come to another question. Which of the following is an analytic function of the complex variable z is equal to x plus iy in the domain mod z less than 2, right? So if a function should be analytic, there is no z bar term in this the function, right? So z is equal to x plus iy. So look into this, here we have z bar, right? So that means 3 plus z bar all raised to 7. So this is not analytic because a function involving z bar, that is not analytic, that we have already studied. But look into this problem here, this part will be 1 plus x plus iy is z all raised to 4 into this. Here I can take a minus out, then x plus iy, that is again z. So that is whole cube. So this is analytic, there is no z bar, right? So this is not analytic, this is analytic. And here if I take a negative out, that means 1 minus z whole raised to 4, and here also we can take a negative out, that is 7 minus z bar, right, whole cube. So this also not analytic, there is a z bar term. And what about this? This is z term only, but there is a fraction. If there is a fraction about, that means fraction of a complex number is z, that means that is not analytic. That also we have discussed in theory, right? So the only function that is analytic is option B, right? All right, so option B is correct. All right. Now let us come to another question. Let u of xy is equal to x plus half x square minus y square be the real part of the function f of z for a complex variable z is equal to x plus iy. Imaginary part we need to find. So if a complex function is given with analytic function, its imaginary part you can find out using Cauchy-Riemann conditions. So u is given, u is equal to x plus half x square minus y square. Then what is dou u by dou x? Dou u by dou x is equal to 1 plus x. That is equal to dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y. That is Cauchy-Riemann condition. So 1 plus x into dou y equal to dou v. So what is v? So with respect to y I am integrating, then y plus xy is equal to, so as a constant of integration, a constant in terms of x, right? C of x, that is equal to v. Now let us apply the second Riemann condition, that is dou u by dou y, that is equal to, when what is dou u by dou y? That is minus y, right? Minus y equal to dou v by dou x, right? Dou u by dou y is equal to minus dou v by dou x, minus dou v by dou x. What is dou v by dou x? Dou v by dou x we can calculate from it, right? What is dou v by dou x? That is equal to, so that means that is minus dou v by dou x, right? So we can take to this side, right? Minus minus cancel, so y dou x is equal to dou v. So by integrating on either side, yx is equal to v. So we may have some constant of y, right? C of y equal to v, right? Now compare this and this, right? We have a v term here. Here also we have an expression for v. So here yx is common, so xy is there, and the cy is y and cx is 0, right? So that is xy plus y, right? Xy plus y, that is equal to v. So this is the imaginary part. So option A is correct, right? All right. Now let us come to another problem. The value of the integral, curved integral z cube dz divided by z square minus 5z plus 6, where c is the closed contour defined by the equation 2 mod z minus 5 equal to 0. So let us define this contour first, that is 2 mod z minus 5 equal to 0. That is, what is mod z? That is 5 by 2. So what is the range? So that means it is analytic within the region of radius 5 by 2, right? That means here it is 5 by 2, that means 2.5. So within this circle, this function is analytic. All right. Now let us find out this pole from this function. So our f of z is z cube divided by, this is nothing but a z minus 2 into z minus 3. So this is the function f of z. Now look into this, this 2 only inside this contour, and this 3 that is outside this contour. So what is the pole? Pole is 2, right? So it is a single pole. So integral f of z dz is equal to what? Integral f of z dz is equal to, that is equal to 2 pi I into sum of residues, right? So what is residue? That is limit as z tends to 2 into z minus 2 into z cube divided by z minus 2 into z minus 3. Alright? Alright. Now let us substitute the value here. That is 2 pi I into z tends to 2. Right, this 2 z minus 2 cancelled. Z tends to 2 means that is 2 cube, that is 8, divided by 2 minus 3, that is minus 1. So minus 16 pi I, right, will be the answer. Alright, so option A is correct, right? Alright, now let us come to another problem. Again, with z is equal to x plus iy, which of the following function f of xy is not a complex analytic function of f of z? So not a complex means the function involving z bar. So here x plus iy, that is z, right? So this is complex, and here x plus iy, if I take minus x plus minus out, then x plus iy, that is z, and here also. But here is the problem. Here if I take, so option D is correct, right? So here the option D I can write as 1 minus, I can take a negative out, that means x minus iy whole raised to 4. Then what is out? 2 plus x plus iy whole raised to 6. Now this 1 minus x minus iy is z bar whole raised to 4, and here 2 plus x, that is 2 plus z whole raised to 6. So this function involves z bar. If any function involves z bar, that is not analytic. So which one of the following is not analytic? Option D, right? Now let us come to another question. Which of the following function cannot be the real part of the complex function z is equal to x plus iy? So if a function, right, if a real part or imaginary part, that is analytic, it will satisfy Laplace equation. Suppose u is the real part, that is if it is analytic, that is its Laplace equation is dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square, that should be equal to 0. That is the condition we have studied. So here the function is x square y, u is equal to x square y. Now let us check whether it is satisfying or not. Then it is analytic, right? So if not satisfying, we will go to the second option. So let us check. So this dou square u by dou x square. So with respect to this, if I am doing dou square u by dou x square, that is first dou u by dou x is 2xy, and again doing, that is 2y. Dou square u by dou y square, first derivation, that is x square, again doing, that is. So this is not equal to 0. That means the function is not harmonic. The real part is not satisfying the Laplace equation. So this is not a complex, right? So this is cannot be the real part of the complex function. So option A is correct. You may check these all. So how to check the second option? Second option also we may check, and then third and fourth also you can check. What is dou u by dou x? That is 1, right? Dou square u by dou x square on doing 2x, again 2x on doing 1, and next is dou square u by dou y square. This y square on doing minus 2y, again dou square u by dou, that is minus 1. So that is equal to 0. So this is harmonic function, right? So that is analytic. Alright. Now let us come to another question. What is the value of a for which f of xy equal to 2x plus 3 into x square minus y square plus 2i into 3xy plus ay is an analytic function of the complex variable? So here this function is, so let me write this f of xy, that is analytic. So let me write the real part and imaginary part separately. So 2x 3x square minus 3y square. So this is my real part, and imaginary part is I into 6xy plus 2ay, right? So if it is analytic, so this is my real part u and this is my imaginary part v. So what I know, dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by, so dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y. So this is the first condition we have studied, right? Dou u by dou x is equal to dou v by dou y. So what is dou u by dou x? So this is my u. So dou u by dou x is equal to, that is 2 plus 6x, right? That is 2 plus 6x is equal to dou v by dou y. That is dou v by dou y is, that is, this is the imaginary part, that is 6x plus 2a, right? So 6x cancel. So what is 2a is equal to 2, that is a should be 1. So option A is correct, right? All right. Now let us come to another question. The first few terms of Taylor series expansion of the function f of x is equal to sin x around x is equal to pi by 4r, right? So that is the question. What is Taylor series? Taylor series says some function f of x we can represent as f of a plus, right, x minus a into f dash a plus, so right, by 1 factorial, that is, next is x minus a whole square divided by 2 factorial into f double dash a plus, and then x minus a whole cube into 3 factorial into f triple dash a plus etc. This is Taylor series expansion, right? Now what is a? A is given, that is x is equal to pi by 4. What is f of x? So let me find out that various term. A is equal to pi by 4. What is f of x? That is sin x. Then what is f of a? That is 1 by root 2, right? All right. And then what is f dash a? F dash a is equal to cos x. What is f dash of pi by 4? F dash a. What is f dash x first? Then what is f dash a? That is equal to f dash of pi by 4. That is cos pi by 4. That is again 1 by root 2. Right? And what is f double dash a? F double dash a is minus sin x. So f double dash of a is again minus 1 by root 2. Right? Now let us substitute all this value here. That is equal to f of a is 1 by root 2. This is plus x minus pi by 4 into, right, f dash a. What is f dash a? F dash a is that is 1 by root 2 plus, now what is f double dash a? That is x minus a whole square. That is x minus pi by 4 the whole square, right, by 2 factorial into, right, that is 2 factorial. So this expression, what is f double dash of a? That is minus 1 by root 2. So we have minus 1 by root 2 here. Now plus etc. Now let me take this 1 by root 2 out, right? So 1 plus x minus pi by 4 plus x minus pi by 4 whole square divided by 2 factorial, right? There is a minus here, right? So minus. So the series is going like this. So which one is the option? So option is 1 plus x minus pi by 4 minus 1 by 2 factorial. So option B is correct, right? Right. Option B is correct. All right. Now let us come to another question. The Taylor series expansion of the function log cos h, where x is real, about the point x is equal to 0, starts with the following terms, right? So again we may write the Taylor series expansion, that is f of x is equal to, at the point x0, right, that is f of 0 plus x minus 0, right, that is x into f dash of 0 plus x square divided by 2 factorial into f double dash of 0, right, and x cube by 3 factorial into f triple dash of 0 plus x raised to 4 divided by 4 factorial into f4 dash, right, of 0. So we may write the Taylor series like this, and our function is that is log cos hx. So f of x is equal to log cos hx, right? So what is f of 0, right? Cos 0 is 1, log 1 is 0. So f of 0 is 0, right? So f of 0 that is equal to 0. Now what is f dash x? F dash x is equal to 1 by cos hx into cos hx on differentiation sin hx. So that is tan hx, right? So what is f dash of 0? F dash of 0 is equal to tan h0, that is 0, right? Now what is f double dash of 0? That is tan hx on doing, that is sec square hx, right? Sec square hx, sec square h0, that is equal to 1, right? All right. Now let me find few more terms, right? F triple dash 0. What is f triple dash 0? F triple dash 0 is 2 sec square hx, right? So we have to do this 2 sec hx into sec hx on doing minus sec hx into tan hx. So f triple dash of 0 means x is 0, means this tan h0 is 0, so the answer will be 0. Now let me find one more term, that is f 4 dash of 0, right? What is the f dash, f triple dash of 0, f 4 dash of 0? So which is on doing, let me take this minus 2 out, and sec square hx into sec square hx, we can tan hx we can keep here, and again we can do sec square hx, that I am not writing because when I am giving 0, tan hx will be 0. Now the next term is sec square hx into tan hx on doing, we have again sec square hx. Now if I am giving 0, this x is equal to 0, that means this term will be 0. So this term we need not write. This part will be 0, this term part will be 1. So minus 2. Now we can substitute all the values which we have obtained, right? So let me substitute this value. What is f of 0 value? So here f of 0 value is 0. So this term is 0, right? So this term is 0, that means this term is 0. And here the triple dash term, that is also 0, right? So this term is 0, that means this triple dash term, that is this term is 0, right? The only term existing is f dash 0, this also 0, right? So the only term existing is these two, right? So f of x is equal to, let me write as x square by 2 into f double dash of 0, right? F double dash of 0, that is 1, right? So that is 1 plus x raised to 4 divided by 4 factorial into f4 dash of 0, that is minus 2, right? All right. So that is equal to f of x is equal to half x square minus 4 factor is 24, right? 24 into 2, that is 24 with 2 cancellation, that is 12. So minus 1 by 12 x raised to 4 plus etc. So which one is the option? So this is the option, that is option B is correct, right? Option B is correct. 1 by 2 x square minus 1 by 12 x raised to 4. So option B is correct. All right. Now let us come to another problem. The radius of convergence of the Taylor series expansion of the function 1 by cos hx around x is equal to 0, right? So when is this cos hx is the function is blows up at a value x is equal to pi by 2. Cos h pi by 2 is 0, right? So if I draw a circle with radius pi by 2, so this is the pole pi by 2, right? So within this region we can say this is the least value of x for which this function that is blows up. So within this region there is no the function is completely valid, but there are some values outside this contour like 3 pi by 2, 4 pi by 2. These all are not uh, these at this point also the function is not valid. So what is the radius of convergence? Radius of convergence is pi by 2, because within this this is the least value of this value x for which the function is valid, right? So C is the option. All right, now consider the real function f of x is equal to 1 by x square plus 4. The Taylor's expansion of f of x about x is equal to 0 converges to C, that is convergent. What is the condition? So here f of x is equal to, let me use another color, f of x is equal to 1 by x square plus 4. This I can write as 1 by 4 into 1 plus x square divided by 4. So this I can write as 1 by 4 into 1 plus x square by 4 all raised to minus 1. So this is valid only if this x square by 4 that is less than 1, that is x square that is less than 1, that is this, well, so what, that is less than 4, right? So x is plus or minus 2, right? So the value should be minus 2 less than x less than 2. So at that condition only x square is less than 4 means, that means it will be in between minus 2 and 2, then only we will get x square less than 4. All right, so option C is correct, right? Now let us come to another problem. The first few terms of Laurent series 1 by z minus 1, z minus 2 in the region 1 less than or equal to z less than or equal to 2 and around z equal to 1 is, right? So this I can write as 1 by z minus 1, right? So can I write this as 1 by z minus 1 minus 1 by, so let me write 1 by z minus 2 plus 1 by z minus 1, right? Can I write like this? Z minus 1 minus z plus 2, so 1 by z minus 1 into z minus 2, right? So this I can write as, I can take a 1 by z minus 2, this is z minus 2, that I can write as z minus 1 minus 1, right? This I can write as 1 by 1, if I write this 1 minus z, I can take a minus out. So this I can write as 1 by, I can take a minus out here, so minus of 1 minus z minus 1 minus minus plus, that is 1 by 1 minus z. So let me write this 1 by 1 minus z first, and then that is equal to, let me take a minus out from these two terms, so minus 1 by 1 minus z plus 1. So this I can write as 1 by 1 minus z minus 1 minus z plus 1 all raised to minus 1, right? Now we can expand all the term, that is z is around 1, right? Now we can expand this, right, using binomial theorem, which leads to the Laurent series. So how can I expand this? 1 by 1 minus z minus, this is 1 plus nx format, right? So that means we can write 1 plus first and then 1 minus z. So 1 plus 1 minus z, so that is equal to 1 plus, right, nx, that is minus 1 into 1 minus z, right, plus next term is minus 1 into minus 2 into 2 factorial, that is again 1 minus z whole square, right? So the series is going like that, 1 by z whole square, then, so there is a minus, right? No, there is no minus, because minus 1 minus, all right. So that is 1 minus z square. So let me expand this minus 1 into next term is minus 1 into, so first term is 1 plus nx, and next term is n into n minus 1 into 1 into 2 into x square, right? That is 1 minus z whole square. And next term is minus 1 into minus 2 into minus 3 into 1 into 2 into 3 into 1 minus z whole cube, right? Plus etc. Now let me expand this 1 by 1 minus z. So here we have a minus, and let me write this as minus 1, right? So this will be minus 1. So I am going to expand this minus 1. Here we have a minus and a minus 1. So that will be plus 1. And here minus of minus z plus z. So minus z. Right? Here we have a minus minus plus, and there is a minus outside. So minus 1 minus z square. And here, let me erase this. Minus 1, there is a minus here, then also there is a minus. Next term is minus 1 into minus 2 into minus 3 into 1 into 2 into 3, right? 1 minus z whole cube. So here there is a negative, here there is a negative, so positive. So 1 minus z whole cube. So this and this cancel. So final answer 1 by 1 minus z minus z minus 1 minus z whole square plus 1 minus z whole cube. So which one is the option? Option B is correct, right? All right. Now let us come to another question. The lower end series expansion of the function f of z is equal to e raised to z plus e raised to 1 by z about z is equal to 0 is given by, right? So we need to find the lower end series expansion of this, right? So how to solve the lower end series expansion? So we already know this e raised to z is equal to, that is nothing but that is 1 plus 1 by, right, 1 plus 1 by z by 1 factorial plus z square by 2 factorial plus z cube by 3 factorial plus etc. What is e raised to 1 by z? In the same sense we can write 1 plus 1 by z into 1 by 1 factorial plus 1 by z square into 1 by 2 factorial plus 1 by z cube into 1 by 3 factorial plus etc. So this I can write as sigma n is equal to 0 to infinity z raised to n, right? Z raised to n divided by n factorial, right? And this I can write as sigma n is equal to 0 to infinity 1 by z is at the denominator. So n factorial z raised to n. So this I can write as sigma n is equal to 0 to infinity. There sum I can write as z raised to n plus 1 by z raised to n into this 1 by n factorial we can take out 1 by n factorial, right? So which one is the option? Either the option is B or the option is C, right? Now look into this. This function is the series is this e raised to z is that is analytic everywhere, right? But this 1 by z that is not analytic at z is equal to 0, right? So except z is equal to 0, suppose I am considering the complex plane. So if we not considering this term, so 0 and plus infinity we consider. At 0 this is not analytic. So in between 0 and infinity everywhere the combined function is analytic, because at z is equal to 0 e raised to 1 by z has a pole. So 0 to infinity but not 0, right? So mod z should be greater than 0 and it should be less than infinity means any point, right? So infinity less than, that is another infinite point. So we may write 0 less than mod z less than infinity, right? So option C is correct, right? Now let us come to another question. The function z divided by sine pi z square of a complex variable z has Suppose this if I consider this z is equal to 0, right? Z is equal to 0, that is a simple pole, right? Z is equal to 0, that is a simple pole. But if you equate this sin pi z square is equal to, right, equal to 0, then this pi z square is equal to plus or minus n pi, right? So pi cancel. So z square is equal to plus or minus n. That means z square is equal to plus n means z square is equal to plus or minus n, and z square is equal to minus n means z is equal to plus or minus in. So it has two value, right? It has also two value. So that means this is a double pole. Z is equal to plus or minus in, that is a double pole, and z is equal to plus or minus n, that also a double pole, right? So which is the option? A simple pole 0 and pole of order 2 at plus or minus root n. Oh, I'm sorry. Z square is equal to plus n minus plus or minus root n. Z square is equal to minus n means z is equal to plus or minus I root n, right? So we have to take the square root in order to find z. So at a plus or minus root n, at plus or minus I root n, so that all are pole of order 2, right? So option B is correct, right? All right. Now we have another question here. Yes, C is a contour defined by mod z is equal to 1 by 2, the value of the integral, right? So mod z is equal to 1 by 2 means the radius, the domain is, center is 0 and the radius is 1 by 2. So we can draw a circle like this, right? So if you look into this, z is equal to 0, that is a pole that is within this contour, right? So it is a double pole. What is the contour? What is the integral? 2 pi I into residue at z is equal to 0. So residue at z is equal to 0. That is 2 pi I into, it is a double pole. So 1 by 2 minus 1 factorial into limit as z tends to 0, d by dz of, this will be sine square z into 1 by sine square z. So this and this cancel. D by dz of constant, that is 0, right? So the answer is 0. So which one is the option? Option C is correct, right? All right. Now let us come to another question. Let C be the circle of radius pi by 4 centered at z is equal to 1 by 4. Suppose we have a circle centered at 1 by 4. So 1 by 4 is the center. So 0 is somewhere else here. So we have this pi by 4 at here. So this radius at 1 by 4. So from this, from the 0 it is pi by 4, that is this point, and from this 1 by 4 the radius also pi by 4. So this distance also, radius also pi by 4. So from the figure it is clear that this 0 and pi by 4, that is inside this contour, right? So what is the integral value? Integral value is equal to, so we have two poles. So pole, that is first one is 0. So if the pole is 0, what is the residue? 2 pi I into, integral value is 2 pi I into residue, right? Residue, that is sigma residue. First residue is residue at z is equal to 0. So what are the poles? Sine square 4z is equal to 0. So pi by 4 and 0, that are the poles, because at pi by 4 tan sine square pi by 4 is 0. So pi by 4 is a pole, and at z is equal to 0, that also inside the contour at z is equal to 0. This is also a pole because sine square 4 z is 0. Alright. So at z is equal to 0, this is a double pole. So what is the value? The value is at z is equal to 0. That is a double pole. So let me write the equation. 1 by n minus 1 factorial into limit as z tends to 0 d by dz of z square divided by z square into z square divided by sine square 4z. Sorry, d by dz of sine square 4z into z square by sine square 4z. This will cancel, and d by dz of 2z square is 2z. When limit is z tends to 0, the value will be 0. Now we can calculate the second residue. So we have the pole z is equal to 0 and pi by 4, right? So residue at z is equal to pi by 4, that is equal to 1 by 2 minus 1 factorial into limit as z tends to pi by 4 d by dz of, right, d by dz of z square, that is again 2z, right? So that is 2z, that is 2 into pi by 4, that is pi by 2. What is our integral? That is 2 pi into residue, that is 2 pi I into first residue is 0 and second residue is, so sum of residue is 0 plus pi by 2, that is 2 pi I into pi by 2. 2 cancel, so pi I square, alright, sorry, I pi square. So which one is the option? Option C is correct, right? Alright. Now let us come to another question. The value of the integral, curved integral dz z square e raised to z, where C is an open contour in the complex z plane as shown in the figure below, right? So this is the contour given. So we need to find curved integral dz z square e raised to z. Alright. So to do this problem, we already know this curved integral dz z square e raised to z. See, look into this function, e raised to z and z square is an analytic function, right? So if you find the integral, right, the net integral of this contour for an analytic function, that will be equal to 0, that we already know, right? So from this, because we have no poles here, right? So curved integral, this dz z square e raised to z, so that is from here to here, right? Plus minus 1 to 1, that is on the real axis, right? So plus minus 1 to 1. So this z I can replace with x, because z is changing to x because it is on the real axis. So dx x square e raised to x. The net sum of this integral should be 0 because the function is analytic, right? So we need to find this curved integral only. So dz z square e raised to z, that is equal to minus 1 to 1 x square e raised to x dx, right? Now to find out this, we need to find this. So let me integrate using parts. So that is equal to, first function into integral of second minus integral of second function, differential of first into integral of second dx, right? Now that is equal to minus x square e raised to x minus 2 into, again we can apply parts, first function into integral of second minus differential of first into integral of second, that is e raised to x, right? Now we have to give the limit for all, that is minus 1 to 1, right? So this is minus x square e raised to x minus 2x e raised to x plus 2 e raised to x, right? All right. Now let me give this upper limit to 1. So that is 1 into e raised to 1. So minus of 1 square into e raised to 1, that is e, minus 2e plus again x is equal to 1, that is 2e, right? Again that is 2e minus lower limit, that is x square minus 1 square into e raised to minus e, that is e raised to minus 1, and minus minus x minus, that is 2 e raised to minus 1, and here that is again 2 e raised to minus 1. So this 2e to e cancel, we have a minus here, so minus minus, this is 5 e raised to minus 1, so minus e, so this will be equal to minus 5e, that is minus 5 by e. So minus 5 by e minus e, so option D is correct, right? All right, so option D is correct. Now let us come to another question, that is equal to the integral, this gamma integral z e raised to I pi z by 2 z square minus 1 dz along the closed contour gamma shown. This gamma contour is given. So here the thing is, here we have a pole here at plus 1, right? Because z minus 1 into z plus 1. So at z is equal to function 1, this function is invalid, and at z is equal to minus 1 also this function is invalid. So that means we have a plus 1 value here and minus 1 value. So we have two poles, right? But the problem is here the contour is in this anti-clockwise direction here, and here look into this contour is like this, so this is will be in the clockwise direction. So when we calculate the integral, we have to solve this, here we have to take 2 pi I anti-clockwise direction, here we have to take minus 2 pi I f of z into residue. So the integral of this part will be 2 pi I into, right, sum of residue. Residue is that is at z is equal to 1, right? Limit as z is equal to 1, that is a single pole, right? So z e raised to I pi by 2, I pi z divided by 2, right? So let me write this single pole, we need to write z minus 1 into f of z. So e raised to I pi z by 2 divided by z minus 1 into z plus 1. So this will cancel, that is 2 pi I into, so when I am giving z is equal to 1, so that is e raised to I pi by 2 divided by 2, 2 cancel. So what is e raised to I pi by 2? That is cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2, that is I, right? E raised to I pi by 2, e raised to I theta is equal to cos theta plus I sin theta. So what is e raised to I pi by 2? That is cos pi by 2 plus cos pi by 2 plus I sin pi by 2. And this part will be 0, and this part of sin pi by 2 is 1, so I. So let me write this as pi I into, right? Pi I into, we may write this as pi I into e raised to I pi by 2, that is I. So we have minus pi, right? All right. Now the next is 2 pi I into, but we have to give, there is a negative sign here, that is important, minus 2 pi I, because contour in the reverse direction, right? 2 pi I into z tends to, limit as z tends to minus 1, right? So next pole is z tends to minus 1, so here z plus 1 into z plus 1 into f of z, that is z e raised to I pi z divided by 2 whole divided by z minus 1 into z plus 1. Here z plus 1 z plus 1 cancel, so minus 2 pi I into, now I am substituting minus here, minus 1 into minus into e raised to minus I pi by 2, right, divided by z minus 1. So that means z tends to minus 1 means that is minus 2. So this minus and minus cancel, right? So minus 2 pi I into, what will be the answer? Minus 2 pi I into here cos pi by 2, right? Cos I minus pi by 2 plus I sin minus pi by 2, that is minus theta cos minus 1, right? So here we have again there is a minus sign, right? So the answer will be we have a negative sign here, right? So this negative and this negative cancel, and e raised to I pi by 2, that will be is equal to minus I. All right, that will be minus I. So I square is minus 1, right? And minus minus cancel, so again we have minus pi. So what is the net integral? Integral of this plus integral of this, that is minus pi plus minus pi, that is equal to minus 2 pi. So which one is the option? Option C is correct, right? All right. Now let us go to another question. The question is, the integral, curved integral e raised to z dz, that is evaluated from the point minus 1 0 to 1 0 along the contour C, which is an arc of the parabola y is equal to x square minus 1 as shown in the figure. The value of I is, right? So here the same problem we have done in another way. See here this integral, look into this curved integral e raised to z dz, a closed contour integral. What is e raised to z? E raised to z is an analytic function, right? The integral, because it has no poles, the integral of an analytic function, that is equal to 0, right? So the integral through this path, that is integral through this parabolic path, right? Let me write this p, that we need to find, right? So that is given, that is e raised to z dz plus, now on the real axis, so 1 to minus 1, so this direction of this contour like this, plus integral 1 to minus 1. As it is on the real axis, we have only x variable, so z we can replace with x, so e raised to x dx. So this sum is 0 because the function, analytic function's integral, that should be equal to 0. That is curved integral e raised to z dz is equal to minus 1 raised to minus 1 e raised to x dx. So that is equal to, let me write this as minus of e raised to x on integration e raised to x. What is the limit? 1 minus 1. So let me substitute the value, e raised to minus 1 minus e raised to 1, right? So that is equal to, let me write this as e raised to 1 minus e raised to minus 1. Now divided by 2 and multiplied by 2. So this is sin h1, right? We already know e raised to x minus e raised to minus x divided by 2 is equal to sin hx, right? So here this is sin h1. So 2 sin h1 will be the answer. So which one is the option? 2 sin h1. So option B is correct, right? All right. Now let us come to another problem. The value of the integral, definite integral 0 to pi d theta by 5 plus 4 cos theta, right? We have already discussed the theory, that is integral 0 to 2 pi f of cos theta sin theta. For this we have to consider a contour of unit radius, right? Contour, a circular contour with unit radius. Then we can write this, we have represented, that is e raised to I theta is equal to z. Then we have seen z square plus 1 divided by 2 z is equal to cos theta, and d theta is equal to I I d theta divided by z. This all we have seen, right? Sorry, I dz divided by z. This we are deeply discussed in theory, right? So you may go through the free lectures given in YouTube, right? So this all we have seen. So we can do so, but the limit was that is 0 to 2 pi. So for this I am making this question as 1 by 2 into integral 0 to 2 pi, because it is an even function, d theta divided by 5 plus 4 cos theta. Now as per the theory I can substitute 0 to 2 pi. What is d theta? I dz divided by z. Sorry, dz divided by iz. That is the question. You can calculate from it. What is on integrating we will get a I e raised to, on differentiating either side, I e raised to I theta d theta is equal to dz. So what is this d theta? D theta is equal to dz by I e raised to I theta. What is e raised to I theta? That is z. So dz by iz, right? All right. So that is equal to dz divided by iz divided by 5 plus 4 into what is cos theta? Z square plus 1 divided by 2z, right? Now let me write this as 1 by 2 into integral 0 to 2 pi, right? So we can cross multiply this, dz by iz divided by, that is 10z plus 4z square plus 4. So this I can write as 2 into, so we can take a 4i we can take out, and what is remaining? Here we have a z, and here also we have a 2z, right? Now we can this 2z we can take up, then z cancel. So 2 divided by, right, 2 dz divided by integral 0 to 2 pi. So this is equal to, what is remaining? When I am taking 2 out, I have already taken a 2 out. So 2z square plus 5z plus 2, that is 2z into 2z plus 1 into z plus 1, right? Z plus 2, right? So we can factorize this, right? So 2 dz by 2z plus 1 into z plus 2. All right. Now we can cancel out these 2 and 2, that is 1 by 2i into 1 by 2i into, here this I can write as again 1 by 4i into, I can write this again, this I can write as 1 by 4i by taking a 2 outside, 0 to 2 pi dz divided by z plus 1 by 2 into z plus 2. Now we have already seen this integral. We need to calculate this integral. For this we are considering the theory we have discussed, a circle of unit radius, right? So when I am considering a circle of unit radius, right, this 1 by 2 is the only pole that lies inside this contour, right? Because radius is 1, radius is 1 means 1 by 2 here, and this minus 2 that is out of this contour, right? So we have a single pole that is minus 1 by 2, right? So the net integral is 1 by 4i into 2 pi I into sum of residues. What is residues? That is a single pole limit as z tends to 1 by 2, z tends to minus 1 by 2, alright, minus z plus 1 by 2 into, so z is equal to minus 1 by 2 is a pole, right? I'm sorry, z is equal to minus 1 by 2 is a pole here, raised to minus 1 by 2, z plus 1 by 2 into 1 by z plus 1 by 2 into z plus 2, and z plus 1 by 2, z plus 1 by 2 cancel, this I cancel, this 2 cancel, so we have pi by 2 here into let me calculate, substitute this value here, 1 by z is equal to minus 1 by 2, so 2 plus 1 minus 1 by 2 plus 2. So what is the answer? That is pi by 2 into, that is 1 by, this will be equal to 3 by 2, right? 3 by 2, 2 to cancel, so answer is pi by 3. So which one is the option? Option D is correct, right? All right. Now let us come to another question. Given that the integral 0 to infinity dx divided by y square plus x square is equal to pi by 2y. The value of integral 0 to infinity dx divided by y square plus x square whole square is, right? So this I can write as, it is an even function, so let me write this as 1 by 2 into integral minus infinity to infinity dx divided by x square plus y square whole square, right? Now we have already studied from the theory. So if we have a real part like this, if I am considering a contour from minus infinity to infinity, right? So we can replace this x with z, right? If the contour is turning from minus infinity to infinity. This theory also we have discussed in theory. Again, you can go to YouTube to see the theory, right? The complete theory, how we formed this theory. So x square plus y square. So we can replace this as curved integral. X we can replace with z. That is, we have a 1 by 2 out dz by, so z square plus y square whole square. So that is 1 by 2 into. So if I consider a contour like this, we can write this as curved integral dz divided by, this is z minus iy the whole square into z plus iy the whole square. Now look into this, iy is inside this contour and minus iy, that is outside this contour on the imaginary axis, right? So we have a double pole that is of order we have a double pole that is iy, right? So 1 by 2 into, so its integral value is 1 by 2 into 2 pi I into sum of residue. How can we calculate the sum of residue? That is residue is equal to, that is a double pole, so 1 by n minus 1 factorial, that is 2 minus 1 factorial into limit as z tends to iy, that is our single pole, and d by dz of z minus iy the whole square into f of z, that is 1 by z minus iy the whole square into z plus iy the whole square, right? This and this cancel, and this 2 cancel. What is remaining? Pi I into limit as z tends to iy. Now what is here? That is d by dz of 1 by z plus iy whole square. That is on integration we have a minus 2 divided by z plus iy the whole cube, right? Now we can substitute the limit. So let me erase this. Now when I substitute the limit, that is pi I into, right, that is z is equal to iy, that is minus 2 divided by iy whole cube, iy whole cube, right? 2 iy whole cube, right? 2 iy whole cube, that is pi I into minus 2 divided by I cube is minus I, this is 8y cube, so 8y cube into minus I. So minus minus cancel, 2 8 cancel, so pi by I cancel, so pi by 4y cube. So which one is the answer? Answer is B, right? Pi by 4y cube. Now let us come to another question, right? The value of the integral minus infinity to infinity dx divided by 1 plus x raised to 4, right? All right. So to do this problem, the integral of minus infinity to infinity dx by 1 plus x raised to 4. We can use the same theory. If we consider a contour like this from minus infinity to infinity, we can replace this into curved integral. We can replace this x with z, dz divided by 1 plus z raised to 4. Then what is the pole? Pole is 1 plus z raised to 4 is equal to 0. That means z raised to 4 is equal to minus 1. That means z raised to 4 is equal to minus 1. I can write as e raised to minus I into 2n plus 1 into pi. Sorry, I 2n plus 1 into pi, need not minus, right? Because when n is equal to 0, that is cos pi, right? Cos pi is minus 1. So I 2n plus 1 into pi. So what is this z? Z is equal to e raised to I into 2n plus 1 into pi by 4, right? Now if I give n is equal to 0, what will be the pole? N is equal to 0, the pole is that is, if I am giving n is equal to 0, that is cos pi by 4 plus I sin pi by 4, right? That is 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2 I, right? Cos pi by 4, n is equal to 0 means e raised to I pi by 4, that is cos pi by 4 plus I sin pi by 4, that is equal to 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2 I. So that is in the first quadrant, so that is inside this contour. Now if I am considering n is equal to 1, so e raised to I 3 pi by 4, right? N is equal to 1, e raised to I 3 pi by 4, that is in the second quadrant. Cos 3 pi by 4 is minus 1 by root 2, and sin 3 pi by 4 is that is 1 by root 2 I. So that is in the second quadrant. That is also in the second quadrant. Now if you give n is equal to 3, 4, that all in the outside the contour, right? So we have only n is equal to 0 and n is equal to 1. 2, when I am giving 2, that is 5 pi by 4, that is outside this contour. So the only 2 points, that is n is equal to 0 and n is equal to 1, at that point the pole is the z value is 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root 2 I and minus 1 by root 2 plus 1 by root. So what are the poles? That is when residue at, right, before to calculate this integral, we have to calculate sum of residues, right? So residue at, so we can calculate a residue at, first residue is at n is equal to 0, that is e raised to I pi by 4. So residue at z tends to e raised to I pi by 4, right? To do this, we have already studied a theory to calculate. We can differentiate the denominator and then we can give the limit to calculate the residue. So let me write this as 1 by 4z cube, right? 4z cube. So that is when I am giving this limit, that is 1 by 4 into e raised to, this is e raised to minus e raised to I 3 pi by 4. Then I am taking to numerator, that will be equal to e raised to minus I 3 pi by 4. So what is this value? 1 by 4 into cos minus 3 pi by 4. That is cos 3 pi by 4. What is cos 3 pi by 4? That is minus 1 by root 2 plus, right? So let me erase this. Cos 3 pi by 4 is, that is in the second quadrant. That's why it is negative, right? Minus I sin 3 pi by 4, right? So that is sin minus 3 pi by 4 means that is minus of sin theta, 3 by 4 is 4. So minus 1 by root 2 I, right? Now let us substitute the value, the second residue, z is equal to e raised to I into 2n plus 1 into pi, and a second pole is 1, n is equal to 1, right? That is e raised to I 3 pi by 4. So residue at z is equal to e raised to I 3 pi by 4. 1 by 4 z cube means that is 1 by 4 into e raised to I 3 pi by 4 the whole cube, right? So 9 pi by 4, so that is equal to 1 by 4 into e raised to minus I 9 pi by 4. Now 9 pi by 4 is again, that is in the first quadrant, that is cos minus of 9 pi by 4, right? That is So 9 pi by 4 is 8 pi by 4 is 8 into pi by 4, that is 2 pi, right? So this will be equal to 1 by root 2, right? In the first quadrant, that is 1 by root 2, but there is a minus sign for sign, right? That is minus 1 by, so here by root minus 1 by root 2 I. So here we have outside 1 by 4. All right. Now what is the integral? Integral value is 2 pi I into sum of residues. What is sum of residue? That is, if I add these two, this and this cancel out, and 1 by 4 into 2 times minus 1 by root 2 I. So I square is minus 1, so minus minus cancel. So we have 4 pi divided by, right, 4 root 2, that is pi by root 2. So which one is the option? Option A is correct, right? All right. Now let us come to the final problem of this section, that is the principal value of the integral minus infinity to infinity sin 2x by x cube dx is. This also we have seen, we can replace this integral with a curved integral sin 2z divided by z cube, right, dz. Only if the contour I am considering from minus infinity to infinity, like this, right? So what is z is equal to 0? That is a triple pole. That is a triple pole. So to do this kind of function, what I am going to do is I am writing this as the imaginary part of. So this will be imaginary part of curved integral e raised to I m z, right? Sorry, I to z divided by z cube. Now we can calculate the contour, right? That is 2 pi I into imaginary part of that we can take out, that is 2 pi I into residue. What is residue? Residue is equal to, that is a triple pole. So 1 by 3 minus 1 factorial into limit as z tends to 0, right? D square divided by dz square into z cube e raised to I 2z divided by z cube, right? Z cube cancel. So here we have a imaginary part of 2 pi I into 2 factorial, that is 1. So pi I into limit as z tends to 0. Now d by dz of I to z, that is d by dz of first differential is 2i into e raised to I to z, right? All right. Now we have to differentiate again. Then we have to substitute z is equal to 0. Then we have the final. We have to take the imaginary part of this. That is imaginary part of pi I into. So limit as z tends to 0. D by dz of this again. That is we can see that is again if I am differentiating 2i, that is minus 4. That is minus 4i square, that is minus 4 into limit as z tends to 0 e raised to I to z. So z tends to 0, that is 1. So imaginary part of minus 4 pi I, that is equal to minus 4 pi, right? So which one is the option? Option D is correct, right? All right. So imaginary part of, so we will get to 4 pi I. We have to take the imaginary part of that, that is 4 pi, right? Minus 4 pi. All right. So this is all about this section, and next section will be the exam discussion of this complex analysis. Okay, thank you.
Seed Physics Clinic is a unique career endeavor, provides organized coaching for UGC CSIR NET and IIT JAM. We provides live interactive classes, online exam series, and organized study materials. For more details, contact 9388877666.